Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches, and here I am again today with another stash diving video. So today I've pulled out one of my binders. I have several of these. This is one of 4 that has just random patterns in it, and then I have a couple that have, or a few, not a couple, but a few that have some of my favorite designers' patterns in them. So I'm going to get started on this one today. Thank you all for all the comments on my past few videos. It's been great. It's been great. A lot of people are connecting with me that have the same patterns, especially some of the older patterns. They're reaching out to me wanting to start stitch alongs, which I do have a stitch along planned. I'll announce that in maybe this weekend. And it was suggested by one of my viewers, and I've ran with it because it's something that I've wanted to stitch for a while too. So I'm looking forward to announcing that to all of you. But the comments have been great. A lot of people are just saying, hey, it's a much needed break from everything that's going on around us right now, or those that are sitting home and that just really can't get out are commenting too. And that was the whole reason behind my doing this. It helped me to keep me focused on something positive, and that positivity is friendship with all of you and the stitching. So thank you all for the comments, because you might be enjoying the video, but I'm also getting something out of it by doing them and sharing my needlework with you, and I received the sweetest comments, and so it sounds like it's just positive going both ways. So thank you for watching again today, and to those that are new to my channel and maybe watching me for the first time, welcome, welcome. So sit back, relax, or pick up your stitching, and I'm going to share with you more of my patterns. Hold on just a second. First one in here is a biggie. A lot of you have seen it. I want to stitch it, but this is Dutch Beauty. This is a beautiful piece, and ever since Michelle Cozy Egg mentioned turning the swan black, I don't want to have it black, but I wouldn't mind having a dark gray swan. I think that was a marvelous idea, and when I do finally stitch this one, that's what I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to turn my light off here. Hold on just a second. Even though I'm going to be dark, there'd be a lot, well, I thought there'd be less. Maybe that's it. There's a little less glare if I hold it like that. Let me see if it's that way with the light on. I'm going to leave the light on. I'm sitting in my my little breakfast area here, and just on the walls, I told you, sharing some of my patterns, I shared a few hillside sampling patterns, and this is one here. The one I showed you was Goodness Gracious, but this is one of the other ones, and I stitched this one in 2002, and then I have one here, and this is just a freebie pattern I picked up from somewhere, and this is the Lord's Prayer by My Big Toe. And I had changed, these are not the required color, the called for colors. I don't remember what I changed them to, but I changed, it's just 2 colors. It's a purple and a deep green. And that one is stitched on. I remember, I love that fabric, and I think it says Weiger, but the color is called Putty. And it has like a green undertone, that it's a very pretty color. For a long time, that was my favorite fabric. Okay, back to the patterns. Now this is the Dutch Beauty is a Permit of Copenhagen. So the next one is also a Permit of Copenhagen, and this is, actually it doesn't say the name, it just, I'll show you what right there in the corner. So it's the museum collection. And another Permit of Copenhagen. I looked this one up after seeing my friend Lorraine stitch this. This was her go-to piece for the first year or so I knew her. she was working on this piece, and I think she has since finished it. This is a beautiful piece. And this one is called, well, Mercy. Does it say on here somewhere? Just Permanent Collection. There it is, right here. And I think it's just 2 colors as well. A red, you can see just hints of red in there, and a dark blue. Now some of these were passed to me by Flosstube watchers, and this is one of them, and this is another Perman samplers. And there's another one on the back called Nostalgia, or is this all one? This is all one. So the name is Nostalgia. And this is Beloved Bible Story Samplers. Had this one for a while. I believe this is Diane Williams Designs, again, from Little House. Excuse me. And I just have them in sleeves to put them in this binder. And here are a few more of Teresa Kitten Stitcher's pieces. This is a Raise the Roof. I think she designed the Raise the Roofs with Susie Reno. And this is Pumpkin Joe. And it says, excuse me with my glasses, Pumpkin Joe and 3 old crows, Joe says boo, and off they goes. And I got to see the model of this one, and that fabric is everything. And on the back, it calls for frame Tiger's Eye by Weeks Dye Works. The next one is Mercy Goodheart. I think I saw Yanni stitching. She has this in her patterns to stitch this year. I'm sorry, Yanni. I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. And this is a beautiful pattern too. And then Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Let It Begin With Me. I'm turning that off. It'll help some. And then this is Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler. And I recently, in one of her past 2 videos, I saw Lisa Kindred Stitcher had finished this piece, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I've stitched one of the Jenny Bean houses, and it's the, which one is it? It's a verse from a Christmas carol. Not the book, but just a Christmas carol. And I need to get that framed. And then this is Christmas is Coming. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. That old rhyme. And then this one is 2 Angry Birds. I don't know which is. I don't know that I'll be able to sit in here and do videos because of the lighting. Let me see if I angle it down some. There you go. Elizabeth Mary Gandy. So you've got a picture here of the original and the reproduction. So I've been a fan of Shakespeare's Peddler Teresa before she became Kitten Stitcher. This is Ragamuffin 1. This is Ann Harrison. Look at that. Look at that house. Front yard. This is a big girl, I believe. Yeah, 228 by 288. So not a small sampler by any means. I don't know though, on 40 count, she's a she's 14.5 by 11.5. That's not too bad. And then I've got a sheepish design here, but this is a freebie chart. And this is Silver Creek samplers. I've shown you a lot of these repeats. They're, like I said, they're in here random. I have some of the drawers upstairs, and I kind of have the drawers that I've already shown you in order alphabetized. But then I have these binders, and of course there's I have the binders, but they're in here randomly too. So even though I've shown you some of my Silver Creek samplings already, here's another one, and this is Seeds of Freedom. And I love the font that's used in these. And it's just a beautiful saying. Beautiful saying. And this is Simply Old Fashioned. It's a Santa, and he's done in like pearl cottons and things. I've done his brother. I've stitched Santa's brother, Santa. And it was just it was a fun stitch. It's beautiful. I just really love a fat man in a red suit. And then here's a Stony Creek, Our Family Tree. Always wanted to do this one and just never have. Just something to chronicle my family's history on. And last year I had plans for that to be the Susan Rambo sampler. And I had changed, you know, there's certain areas in there that I can place the names and remove the names that, or not to stitch the names that Susan Rambo stitched into hers, but choose some of my own. And I may still do that. But with the new grandbaby coming, it just kind of changes things. And this is Reality Check. This is by Summer House Stitch Works. And when I bought this at a Pal's Retreat in Myrtle Beach, Beth was there, and part of, she was able to tell me, but she explains here what she's done in there. And what it is, Reality Check, is there are certain motifs within this little piece that reflect some of the reality TV shows at the time. So, and she explains all that in here. And then I have some Sweetheart Trees, Woodland Violet sampler, and then Crowning Glory, and then Threads of Gold. After finding my first Threads of Gold piece in a discount bin in Tennessee, shopping one day, I come home and started eBaying Threads of Gold. This is E. Davies. I have yet to stitch one of the Threads of Gold pieces, and I don't think I've ever seen one that I'm aware of stitched up as a model, but I need to. I really need to. I love the colors. This is Lucy Smith. Margaret Walker, 1786. Threads of Gold again. And this is the one that started it all. This is my first Threads of Gold piece that I purchased that led me on the hunt for others. This is a Waxy Moon design I bought years ago to stitch for Christmas. I love to decorate for Christmas. It brings me a lot of pleasure. And so a lot of the pieces I've bought that are Christmas pieces are just for that purpose, so that I can put them up at Christmas. This is Hitching a Ride, and it is Santa and a couple reindeers pulling Frosty behind them, and he's on his skis, and I even got the buttons for it. This is West Wind cross stitch, and this is Pride and Prejudice. And this is by our own Ellen Chester. This is actually the original sampler. This is Agnes Scott 1810. And this is her reproduction. Look at that. If you don't follow Ellen on Instagram, you should. She is an amazing stitcher. She's prolific. And every now and then she'll take pictures and show us glimpses of her sampler walls. And I aspire to have samplers on my walls like Ellen. I think she made a new start today, or was it yesterday? But she just, she's an amazing stitcher and an amazing person. Here's another of her designs. This is Tell Me Ye Knowing. Tell Me Ye Knowing. And here are some sheepish designs. This is the McCarthy sampler. This is Betsy. Of course, Betsy Ross. One of our most famous sisters in stitching. And this is one I went on the hunt for after seeing Michelle of the Striped Rose stitching this piece. I don't know if she's finished it yet or not, but this is Mary Tillinghast. It's beautiful. And the picture here is beautiful, but to see Michelle's stitched piece, I'm going to skip one. Here is another sheepish design. This is Shady Day. I love those funky, exaggerated trees. It kind of reminds me, remember that old movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? And so when they were small, everything like dandelions just seemed like trees to them. And that kind of reminds me of that. And this is those blooming flowers. And this is Sarah Pope. This one I need to put out. I need to go through my pieces ever so often, just so I can familiarize and remember that I got things. This is one, as soon as I got it, I was like, oh, I need to stitch this right now, right now, right now. You don't need to stitch, you know, and I'm warring with myself in my head. No, you don't need to stitch it. You've got all these whips. You don't need to stitch it. And so I put it in a binder, and I forget I have it until I make a stash dive video. But this is a big girl too. She is, well, it don't tell me right here on the edge, on the outer flap. I can tell you she's a big girl. I really need to put her to the side, go ahead and order some fabric. I'm going to do that because, and the funny thing is, I'm looking on the back and the shop on it says Threads of Gold, 4020 South Cove Lane, Belmont, North Carolina. So was that one time a shop, guys? Is it a shop that's now closed? And are they the ones that actually were the owners of the Threads of Gold designs? This is Words of Praise. This is Teresa's samplers. Look at that. And this is one of my favorite Words of Praise. I haven't stitched it yet, but this is the Trust sampler. Those rolling hills, the ducks, the weeping willow, that border, the cartouche here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this is another words of praise. And once again, I think they started out just like this on just a folded piece of paper with hand-drawn charts. So the pictures are in black and white, just like the pattern. So you can't really, I don't know what you can see, but I'm hoping you can see enough to get an idea. And then this is Words of Praise Witness Sampler. It's just as that pattern was. And the border on this one kind of reminds me of Sally Spencer that we were all stitching over the past couple of years. There's so many stitch-alongs, but I forgot who I started one of the stitch-alongs with, and we called it the Mustang Sally stitch-along. But when I see this one, the border reminds me of that Sally Spencer piece by Birds of a Feather. Let's see what else I've got in here. This is a commemorative sampler from the 2002 Cats Festival, which is the creative arts and textile shows. Did anyone go? I know I attended the one that was held in Charleston, South Carolina. And I don't know how far up the East Coast they went or how much further west they went from South Carolina, but I wish that there were shows like that now, that instead of us traveling to the show traveled to our area. Do they still do that? Do any of y'all know that answer to that question? And these are all either pulled thread or pieces that have some pulled work or heart angle work in it. And this is the Love Sampler by Cross and Patch. That is a beautiful piece. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is the miniature drawn thread piece. And I have stitched this one. I did it in shades of pink. And it's beautiful, but I kept the pattern in case I wanted to do it again someday when I grew up. Something more elegant like this one. But was mine pink? Was it pale and barely pink? Oh no, no. It was pink. It was pank. As we say here in the South, it was pank. This is another Cross and Patch, and I can't read the Heart of My Heart. So there's 4 different heart designs with using different specialty stitches and heart anchor in them. And another Cross and Patch, and this is a needlework story. Oh, this one's gorgeous too. So if you're interested in heart anchor, these colors do not offend. Just look up Cross and Patch. I don't know if they're still designing, but I'm sure you could probably get many of these patterns on eBay. Here's another. This is Joy to the World. Another Christmas piece. On a piece of natural linen with just reds and greens for Christmas. That pulled work. Just imagine it. And this is Moss Creek Designs. This is Noel. And that's it for this binder today. So I will do my best to come. I missed y'all yesterday. I came home. My husband wasn't here. I just wanted to grab a quick bite to eat and grab a really nice hot bath and just start stitching. So that's exactly what I did. So I didn't take the time to visit with you all yesterday. I did miss you, but I called up with some of the, I was busy doing exactly what many of you are doing right now. I was Flosstubing. I was watching my friends. I was being enabled. And if you're like me, I keep a little notebook down beside my stitch spot, and when I come up with an idea, or you know how your mind just roams, and I jot it down. If it has anything to do with my stitching or something, a pattern that I want to stitch that may want to change the patterns or anything like that, or maybe even see someone stitching something that I know I have and I decided I want to stitch it now, I jotted in that notebook. But I do want to show you one little piece of haul that I got. It come today, and it's my favorite designer, and it's a fine house indeed. That's a lot of bricks. I've been teasing about being a brick mason on the fall. I might need to employ a few other brick masons to help me stitch that one. That's a lot of bricks. And when I pulled it out, it reminded me of that song by the Commodores, She's a Brick House. I'll probably sing that song the entire time I'm stitching that. And tonight I plan on uploading this video and getting right back to my current whip, which is the fall. I've still been stitching along my little two letters every day on Caroline Behringer, and I'm enjoying it. I'm just taking my lunch break and stitching those 2 little letters every day, along with my friend Donna of D Squared. I'm enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have it finished by the end of the month, because the way it's going, I'm actually doing maybe 2.5, maybe 3 letters a day, depending on the length of thread I have left over after stitching. Because I finished that length of thread off. So I'm working on the fall tonight. I've already stitched my 2 pieces for 2 letters today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow with another binder. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.